Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online. So it is the 15th anniversary content release, so let's go ahead and, of course that comes with a brand new mission, so let's go ahead and hop into that. Oops, wrong section. So this mission is Axiom. Join the cooperative in the Delta Quadrant to tackle the threat of a Borg incursion and discover the truth of what happened in the Ramazad system.
Greetings. Hugh, Director of the Cooperative Borg and Borg Reclamation Project speaking. I am reaching out to you as Command has spoken very highly of your accomplishments. In particular, I'm told you're experienced in dealing with a variety of Borg. Another incursion is taking place in the Ramazad system. Can you meet me there? I'll send you my coordinates upon arrival. I'm still waiting to hear back from other allies. We'll need all the backup we can get. There is always a choice.
Now give me 1 second because I recall the voice being pretty quiet for a section of this, so hopefully that'll help a little bit. Back up just a little bit and hop into the mission.
What a surprise! I didn't expect to see you here. I'm responding to a call from Director Hugh of the Cooperative Borg. The Lucari Concordium has recently chosen me as their ambassador for all things Borg. He asked me to join him here to help with another incursion. I've been here for quite a while now. I'm not sure he's coming. Are you here to help as well?
That's right, but his absence is concerning.
I agree. He's typically quite punctual. So I've heard, anyway. Well, I'm afraid I've also come across some starship debris in the system that I have yet to identify. It appears we're arriving at the aftermath of a tense clash. I suggest we try and find the director together. With your permission, I'll set up a sensor link so that our ships can share any data we find.
Permission granted, let's do it.
Sensor link is active. Let's start with the ship debris up ahead.
Let's see. Looks vaguely Borg.
Let's see. Sensors are picking up microscopic fragments of advanced regenerative circuitry, nanites, and decentralized control system debris. Well, this is most certainly a fallen cooperative probe. Something must have happened to their fleet. Let's hurry. There's more debris over there.
Okie dokie. Looks to be a bigger piece over here.
Scans indicate high-density alloy and further Borg circuitry fragments. Disruptive, not regenerative. In any case, this is not cooperative debris. The quantum signature doesn't even match our universe.
Interesting. That looks to be part of a cube of some sort, or at least something big.
Look out! Control Borg sphere incoming!
Struggle is pointless.
Well done. That certainly explains the debris's quantum signature. Let's continue. I see a final cluster of debris up ahead.
Okay. Oh, yep, that also looked to be part of a cube or something. Same with both of those there.
This fractal alloy is unlike any debris I've ever seen. It's protected by a quantum dispersal field. Someone must have come back to scatter the ship's debris signature. Its origin is untraceable.
But is it really?
Heads up! Subspace sensors are picking up residual distortion nearby. A warp trail. Recalibrating sensor array frequencies.
Did she get stuck? Yeah, I think she got stuck on the piece back there. Okay, that's fine. The Kari don't know how to fly a spaceship.
Decay and subspace phase variances suggest this warp trail is 2 hours old. We should get closer. There might be survivors.
Not seeing a whole lot of we, though, considering you're way back there.
Oh dear. Sensor readings are fluctuating erratically due to the magnetic properties of dense asteroids nearby.
Huh, well, that doesn't look Borg.
It's the Harmony. What's Tassin Faye's ship doing here?
Gotta get a little bit closer.
Perhaps Tassin Faye was called in to help as well. The vessel seems to be suffering from multiple systems failures. They may require assistance. Shall we send out a hail?
Let's. Comms, open hailing frequencies. Admiral Kamarke, please proceed.
Oh, right. Starship Harmony, this is Admiral Kumar K of the LSS Raskava. Come in. Tassin Faye, do you copy? No response. Complete comm silence. I know this isn't exactly standard protocol, but considering the potential gravity of the situation, should we consider beaming down?
Let's try an energy field scan first.
You're right. Let's proceed with caution.
Scanners are ready.
It's no use. The magnetic properties of the denser asteroids near the ship are interfering with our scans.
We could use the tractor beam to move the Harmony away from this area.
An excellent idea. I'll send out an encoded subspace transmission detailing our intentions. I should be able to transmit it on a narrow enough frequency for it to bypass the interference, but we're unlikely to be met with a response, I'm afraid. Here's hoping Tassin Faye is able to receive it, and that we aren't breaking with any Etherean customs.
It doesn't look like we have a choice.
Right. I have identified a section of the Ramizad system where signals are not compromised by the asteroids. Meet me there.
Copy that. I'll move the Harmony.
Huh. Who would have thought that you'd be towing the Harmony today?
Probably not something we want to have to do.
The ship is still too close to the asteroids. Just a little further.
Jesus.
It's working. The interference is subsiding. I suggest we try a final hail before we scan again.
Yep, sounds like a plan.
Starship Harmony, this is Admiral Kumarke. Do you copy? Starship Harmony, do you require assistance? Nothing. I'll consult with my comms officer. Ensign Farunte, what's your assessment?
The Harmony might be experiencing a communications blackout, Admiral. This is likely unrelated to the interference caused by any asteroids.
Well, time really could be of the essence. We still have no idea where the director is or if he's all right. And I'm beginning to worry that the same might be said of Tassin Faye.
You're right. I'll scan the Harmony. Let's point in the right direction.
This doesn't look good. Shields are lowered. I'm not detecting any breaches, so it must have been done voluntarily. The scans also indicate that the atmospheric conditions aboard the ship are highly unusual, and only just able to accommodate other species. Furthermore, the ship itself is exhibiting properties that are consistent with a multidimensional vortex. It's as if it is phasing in and out of existence. Or at least parts of it seem to be. What's more, multiple sections of the ship seem to be under strict lockdown.
Well, that sounds interesting, that the ship itself is exhibiting properties of a multidimensional vortex. Doesn't seem exactly normal. Sounds serious. Beaming down without authorization might be our only option.
I agree. I recommend we stay on high alert. Who knows what caused the ship's partial lockdown? This mission could be quite dangerous, especially if the Etherians are unresponsive.
Kamarke, are you sure you want to come?
Quite sure, but I do appreciate you asking. I would rather face my fears head-on than retreat to the proverbial shadows. It's been quite good for me. I feel empowered, actually.
In that case, we better get going.
You read my mind. The ship's systems should have logged our attempts at establishing contact before beaming down. That said, I'm not sure I trust the accuracy of any of our current scans, given the situation. One last thing. I do recommend we leave our bridge officers behind for now. I don't feel comfortable sending anyone else down there before conducting a preliminary assessment. Ready when you are.
Technically, though, it should be the bridge officers going down there. Not two admirals. But, okay, yep. I'll meet you there. Not a fan of the dark figure in the background.
This interior. It's beautiful.
It looks like the hallway behind us is locked. In fact, this room is under full lockdown, which I suspect will be true of most of the rooms we will encounter aboard the Harmony. Bypassing security lockouts might require some thinking outside the triangle. Or box? It's an Earth saying. I suggest we take a look around. Perhaps there's another way out. Let's tread carefully.
Yes, it is an Earth saying, thinking outside the box, and I see what you tried to do there with triangle, considering that the ship very clearly does have a lot of triangles. That seems to be, I guess, in a Etherian thing where they love triangles and diamonds and stuff like that. I'll lead the way. Let's see, what do we got on this console here? Minigame. Okay, full system lockdown bypassed.
Maybe this will allow us to open the door to the hallway behind us.
Yes, let's go into the hallway with the dark, spooky figure. Let's try it.
No, the security clearance required to bypass this console is too high. We won't be able to go this way. Let's look around. Optimizing tricorders for environmental scanning. What a unique structure. Optimizing for material analysis. Incredible. These polygonal wall structures act as data nodes.
Intriguing. Scan the second set.
It appears they store recordings of events that have happened aboard the ship. They contain both visual and auditory data. You don't suppose we're being watched, do you?
Certainly possible.
In any case, it looks like this room's lockdown has been bypassed. Let's try the console by the other door. There must be a way forward.
I'll take the lead. See if that bypass gets this door open.
Well done. All right, we better stay alert. We don't know what the consequences of bypassing the security measures aboard this ship are. For all we know, it could mean a variety of automated countermeasures, or perhaps none at all, given the situation. Let's keep scanning for abnormalities along the way until we get to the bottom of this.
Agreed, let's go.
Lead the way.
I do kind of wish the door made some noise, though. It's a bit weird that it doesn't. When it opened,
It's very
did not hear
empty
anything.
in here. I wonder where all the crew members are.
Kamarke is stuck in the other room. Apparently she also does not know how to walk. But she does know how to teleport. Through harmony, we are secure.
That's what Tarsine Fey always says.
Like a guiding principle.
Could I have a word?
Of course.
I'm feeling a little uneasy. No, not about the possibility of finding a Borg incursion aboard. It's about the comment I made earlier, about being watched. It was meant to be light-hearted, but I'm starting to think we are being monitored. It doesn't help that this room is on lockdown as well, and it looks like the security clearances increase the further along we get. We'll need to get creative again.
How about the data node system we scanned? We could reverse engineer it.
Interesting. Instead of recording in real time, we could recalibrate the output so that the node plays back a recording from the past. At some point, someone aboard this ship must have input the console code needed to unlock this room. Such a recording might also provide us with insight into what happened aboard the Harmony.
I take it the nodes are encrypted.
Spot on! I would need to input some kind of information about the data we want to access in order to bypass any encrypted subroutines. In theory, this would allow me to recalibrate the node's parameters to play back an older recording, though I'd have to reconfigure the node's memory buffer array to act as a hollow matrix interface instead. In other words, the node will no longer function as a recording subsystem, but as a hollow emitter, activated by a
Remodulated tricorder. This could work.
I have to say, even though I'm not pleased about reverse engineering a theory in technology without authorization, the science behind this is quite exciting. Hopefully, Tarsine Fey will understand.
It's a risk we'll have to take.
If you scan the room for information, I will begin recalibrating the node's parameters.
Let's get to work.
Reconfiguring memory array to optimize for hollow emission output. Remodulating tricorders. Integrating environmental data to bypass encryptions. Done! The system is active. Shall we give it a try?
Let's.
In that case, please follow me.
This technology looks like a fragment of a larger piece.
That it does.
Director Hugh, it is good to finally meet you face to face.
So, you said you needed help.
It worked! So, both Director Hugh and Tassin Fei were aboard the Harmony. What's more, the decay rate of the chronoton particles emitted by these projections placed the recording approximately 1 hour before the Harmony's warp trail signature in Ramizad. It's likely that whatever battle took place out there occurred after the director beamed aboard. Curious. It's a start. However, I'm sure you've noticed that these recording fragments are both static and out of order. The node's harmonic emitters didn't take too kindly to being tampered with. I doubt we'll be able to play out the full animated sequence of events. That said, we should be able to realign the data and unlock the full recording if we place these fragments in the right order.
Leave that to me.
Place these fragments in the correct order. What happened first?
Well, obviously, Tassin Fei greets Director Hugh and his officers.
Right. Tassin Fei welcomed Director Hugh and his bridge officers aboard the Harmony. What happened then?
God, it feels like Dora the Explorer out here. Director Hugh scans a piece of technology.
After Tassin Fei welcomed Director Hugh and his bridge officers aboard, Director Hugh scanned a piece of technology which he considered to be part of a fragment of a larger piece. So, naturally...
Tassin Fei, Director Hugh, and his officers leave.
The fragments have been placed in the correct order. First, Tassin Fei welcomed Director Hugh and his team aboard the ship. Then, Director Hugh scanned some technology which was part of a larger piece. Lastly, Tassin Fei asked Director Hugh and his officers to follow her, so they all left the room.
Maybe Blue's Clues. Blue's Clues probably fits a little bit closer. Or a little bit better.
We did it! Right. I've fed the data back into the node in the correct order this time. We should be able to play the full sequence of events now. Remember, it's likely to be visually incomplete due to the harmonics malfunction within the node, but the acoustics shouldn't be affected. Shall we?
Though that we did it definitely seems Dora. Let's watch it.
Director Hugh, it is good to finally meet you face to face. I have heard a lot about you and your skill set.
Leader Tassin Fei, please call me Hugh. Likewise, I've heard a lot about the Etherians. So, you said you needed help.
Right. A piece of our technology has been found aboard the Harmony. We may be compromised.
Let's see. You're right. This is control board technology, all right. And yet, the energy signature isn't an exact match. This technology looks like a fragment of a larger piece. We'll need to locate the rest of it before I can make an assessment.
Of course. Our diplomatic quarters are available, should you wish to stay longer for this assessment. Please excuse the furnishing. Under normal circumstances, we redress our rooms for all our guests.
Well, these circumstances are far from normal. But that won't be necessary. We won't be staying long.
Was that always
I
there?
see. How unfortunate. Perhaps another time. In that case, please follow me.
Great teamwork. We've pieced it all together. It looks like Director Hugh and his officers beamed aboard the Harmony to help Tosin Fei identify a piece of...
Control Borg technology.
Exactly. Fortunately, the data node recording also shows the console code used by Tosin Fei to bypass security. I suggest we look out for other consoles along the way. Perhaps we'll be able to use this method again. This probably also won't be the last data node we'll be able to interact with aboard the ship. Right, let's move on, shall we?
I'll enter the console code.
So it seems like the starship debris we found earlier might have been Control Borg then. If we proceed, the door behind us will likely lock. We'll need to choose a path.
Well, I feel like this is the path we want to go. Because it's different than where they went.
This looks like a social lounge. I didn't know the Etherians were so willing to host. Very hospitable, though a little deserted for my taste.
This looks like a giant, like, dog bowl or something. It really does. We've made a giant floating dog bowl and put a cushion on the inside. What do we have here? Lucari Fusion Conference, 200,000 PA.
Perhaps it's related to stellar research. I'm surprised I haven't been contacted about this.
Odd. Days are numbered. Not a fan of that.
I take it these are the redressed diplomatic quarters Tosin Fei spoke of in the data node recording. I must say, I wasn't aware that a diplomatic meeting had been scheduled between any Lucari ambassadors and Etherians.
Well, these quarters seem largely unused.
Right. Perhaps this is for a future meeting that hasn't been coordinated yet. Director Hugh did mention abnormal circumstances in that recording. It's possible the situation is far more dire than we had imagined. I'll be sure to check in with Lucari Command once I return.
Sounds wise. Let's keep going.
Oh my. These are almost identical to the furnishings of Lucari diplomatic quarters. It seems like the Etherians have replicated our style almost to perfection.
Intriguing. Got something to examine here. Got a science kit. That's it? Okay. Not super useful for me. Partly because I'm not a science officer. But okie dokie. Let's continue on.
This looks like a shortcut.
Okay, sure. All in all, we traveled about the same length.
It's one of Director Hugh's officers. We better help them. Shields are still down. We can stabilize them and beam them out.
On it. Just before we do that, see if there's anything else to interact with. Doesn't look like it. So let's get this guy out of here.
This isn't good. We need to figure out what happened here. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
See a data node.
That's the spirit! Our tricorders are already remodulated and optimized for holographics. If you gather information to bypass the encryption subroutines, I'll get started on the node's parameters.
I'll see what I can find. I will say, this mission is a bit long. We'll see, end up splitting this into 2 parts.
I'm feeling less guilty about tampering with Etherian technology. Our allies could be in danger.
It's one of the main reasons I don't run this mission for the dailies.
Recalibrating parameters. Almost there. Got it! The fragments should be ready to play.
Battle of Wolf 359 is a much more reasonable mission to run for the dailies.
I will lead you to our lower decks.
Watch out! What are you doing?
It worked! Unlike the last recording we watched, these initial fragments seem to be in the right order. That means Tassin Fey was leading Director Hugh and his officers to the lower decks of the ship. After that, something or someone attacked them. Well, this part seems right. However, my scans indicate the presence of corrupted data located inside the memory buffers. One of the following fragments does not align with the expected data intervals of the recording. That is to say, one of the recordings of Director Hugh was added later on. It was artificially injected into the data sequence.
A falsified fragment added to the data node?
Perhaps. We can't rule it out. But that doesn't seem like something the Control Borg would do. It seems a little too calculated, don't you think? In any case, we need to make a choice and identify the artificial fragment so we can remove the corrupted data and access the rest of the recording.
Leave it to me.
Which fragment was artificially added to the data node?
Well, it seems a bit odd if it was a Control Borg that fired on them. Because there hasn't really been any sign of the Control Borg outside of that one fragment out there. And their ship that we destroyed out in space. But, beyond that, there's not a ton of indications of the Control Borg actually being on the ship.
Right. An unknown construct appeared from beyond the portal and attacked the group. The falsified fragment has been identified. First, Tassin Fey told Director Hugh and his bridge officers that she would lead them to the lower decks of the ship. But then, an unknown construct attacked Director Hugh and his bridge officers from beyond the portal. One of his bridge officers was left wounded.
Interesting that Tassie and Faye couldn't even be bothered to, transport him to medbay or something. I'm sure they have one.
Well done. That's it. It wasn't a control Borg that fired at Director Hugh's officer, but an unknown construct. It seems Aetherian? The corrupted data has been removed successfully. The full sequence of events is now ready to play. Unfortunately, the harmonics are acting up again, so expect some fragmentation. The system is active. Let's play its last recording.
Let's watch it.
It is a shame you are not staying longer. We have much to discuss. I am curious about the liberated Borg.
Well, the path of a liberated Borg is not easy. Ultimately, it's about giving others a second chance.
Fascinating. Aetherians believe in giving others a second life, like in ascension.
I suppose you could compare it to that. Helping others overcome their past so they can grow.
Indeed. If you'd follow me, I will lead you to our lower decks.
You said this is where you found the Control Borg boarding party?
Indeed.
Do you know how they were able to bypass your shields?
We are uncertain. Several malfunctions have been reported. No conclusions have been drawn yet.
What are you doing?
This was not supposed to happen.
Get behind me!
My word, so that's what actually happened. It seems like an Aetherian security system of some sort attacked Director Hugh and his officers. But by Luca, I cannot imagine why someone would come back afterwards to plant a falsified recording implicating the Borg. It's beyond me.
I can think of a few reasons why somebody would do that. It does seem odd.
In any case, Tassin Faye's remark is important. If the Aetherian security system has gone rogue, there might be more for us to worry about than Control Borg. Fortunately, this recording also shows the console code used to activate this portal. I suppose it will lead to the lower decks. Here's the code. Will you do the honors?
Let's see what lies ahead. When the Kalmonans evolved to become the Lad Namad, the Aetherians found their true purpose. The Aether offers knowledge so divine that, naturally, it chose itself to govern the actions of all. Some of the words can't be translated. Well, full system lockdown bypassed. Activate portal.
I believe this calls for the Earth saying, "Here goes nothing."
Okay. Kamarke, you really seem to be big on Earth sayings for some reason.
These lower decks sure are darker. A word.
Everything all right?
Yes. I think so. I feel confident that we are on the right track, especially after seeing both Director Hugh and Tassin Faye pass through here. And yet, I just feel unsettled. There's something not quite right about all of this. Do you feel it too?
I do. Stay close.
Before we move on, I want to make sure you know that you can count on me. Entirely. Last time we underwent a mission together, I told you I wasn't certain I'd be a reliable ally against Borg forces. That's not the case anymore. I feel stronger than ever. Although I still have some reservations, I won't be showing up late to the party this time.
Kamarke, that means more to me than you know.
Well, I'm glad that's settled. Let's get back to business. This room...
Contains data nodes.
Exactly. You know the drill. If you search the room for information, I'll begin recalibrating the data node's parameters. Those encryption subroutines won't stand a chance.
Kamarke, if I know the drill, you don't need to remind me as to what the drill is. Let's get started.
I admit, I'm feeling apprehensive. What we're about to see next could be very telling. Integrating the environmental information, bypassing encryptions. All done. The fragments are ready to play.
Okay.
Due to bridge, requesting immediate backup.
There has been a grave misunderstanding. Fret not, Director. We will not let you perish.
Doesn't sound great.
You shall be conserved and uplifted anew.
Perish? Did they really get into some kind of near-fatal altercation? I can't even imagine it. Tassine Fey is our ally and friend. There must be more to this.
But is she really? Is she really our ally and friend? I agree, it's strange. Falsified data again.
Unfortunately, my scans suggest that the node's memory buffer may be overloaded. Over time, this could lead to slight alterations in recorded material due to deletions or simplifications, for example. So rather than an artificial addition, it seems to be a corruption of the original events. There should be some truth to this scenario, but something's off. We'll need to identify the altered fragment and restore it to its original form in order to play the full sequence of events.
They're using a crappy storage medium. If, after only about an hour, the recorded material can have alterations due to deletions or simplifications, or probably some other stuff potentially as well. Just... What are they storing this on? Because obviously, you know, even our modern storage doesn't have that problem. Well, I mean, it does, but it's gonna be after, like, decades or hundreds of years type thing, depending on the medium. Leave it to me.
Which data node fragment was altered?
I'm going to say that Director Hugh fell to the ground, critically wounded.
The altered fragment has been identified. Director Hugh raised his weapon at Tassine Fey, but he was not critically wounded. Finally, Tassine Fey lifted his body out of the room. By Lucar, we did it! I was hoping for this outcome. Hopefully this means that Director Hugh was not gravely injured. Let's see what actually happened here.
Let's play it. Oh, I thought she was done talking.
Due to bridge, requesting immediate backup.
There has been a grave misunderstanding.
I can see that. What the hell is going on here?
Our security system is registering you and your officers as Prime Borg.
Tassine Faye, I really don't want to take down your construct. Get them to stand down.
I understand. This won't be necessary. You will be neutralized until we can repair our systems.
Neutralized? Okay, we might be getting lost in translation, but that's not happening.
Fret not, Director. We will not let you perish. You shall be conserved and uplifted anew.
By Lucar, we did it. I was hoping for this outcome. Hopefully this means that Director Hugh was not gravely injured. Let's see what actually happened here. The full sequence is ready to play.
Well, that played the wrong audio. Admiral, that's it. Director Hugh was...
That's it.
Oh, there we go.
Director Hugh was neutralized by Tassine Faye in an effort to protect him, I suppose? And it looks like his wounded bridge officer made it out of the room. Well, if the director and his officers are registering as enemy Borg to the Etherean security system, then there's no telling how it will register us. After all, you and I have both had dealings with the Borg that have left us changed. Thankfully, the recording once again shows the console code Tassine Faye used to get out of this room. However, perhaps we should stop tampering with the data nodes from now on.
Kamarke, why would it potentially register you as Borg? I don't recall you being assimilated at all. We were, for a little while there, assimilated, and we certainly tried to assimilate you. But I don't believe you ever actually got assimilated. So there's no reason why the Etherean security system would register you as a Borg. You might be, psychologically from PTSD having a problem with Borg. But the security system should not be caring about that to somehow say, oh, hey, I think that's an enemy. Good call. What about this neutralization?
Tassine Faye's choice seems somewhat abrupt. It certainly wouldn't be acceptable by Lucari diplomatic standards. But if she intends to uplift him anew, as she said, perhaps she only meant to conceal Director Hugh's biosigns from her security system.
I don't know. I don't like it, Admiral.
Ethereum customs could be wildly different from mine or yours. Perhaps this is not as transgressive as it seems.
Good luck with that one, Kamarke. I'm not believing it. Even so, the director was right to call for help.
I agree. Let's input the console code so we can move on and beam in some backup. The coordinates might be a little off as we are unfamiliar with the Harmony's exotic interdimensional topography. Beam-in could be delayed, and the exact arrival position unknown.
Let's hope for the best.
Admiral Kumarke to the Rescava. We are requesting backup aboard the Harmony. Director Hugh is down. I repeat, Director Hugh is down.
Admiral Kumarke, This is Ensign Varunte reporting in. We have notified both of your crews. We're struggling to get a lock on your position. We'll beam someone down as soon as we can.
Copy that, Varunte. Right. Let's not waste a moment.
I'm trying to recall. We're about the 50-minute mark, and I think we're only about halfway through the mission. Like I said, this is a fairly lengthy mission. I mean, I don't mind the lengthy missions when it comes to, recording and whatnot. I'm not generally going to be big on the whole replaying them thing, though, on the other hand. But yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Like I said, this is such a long mission that I think it's probably best to split it into 2 parts. Just for being easier to view, in a sense. It's just way too long, I think, to be 1 part. I don't think people would watch something that is about an hour and a half to 2 hours straight like this. So yeah, we're gonna cut this here, and I will see you all next time. We'll basically have a cliffhanger. It'll be just like the TV show. But until then, goodbye and farewell.